My name is David Ruff. Today we're going to be talking about what tips that we can learn from the Queen as we try to figure out what this mess is going to be from an economy point of view and what she actually taught us. I got some really interesting articles. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. All right, you guys, let's jump into the articles of the day. If we jump into our first article, you guys, we are looking at some economic problems. Our economic problems, if we look in Sweden, if you go to Bloomberg, Sweden is getting ready for its biggest rate hike this century. They are looking at putting a monumental 1% or 0.75% increase in the interest rates, which is monumental for Sweden. Okay, so if we go to the next one, we can look at Open Door. How is the United States going? Open Door, as everybody knows, in the past 2 years, have been this thing called iBuyers. You've probably heard of it, like Zillow, Open Door. They're now moving to Canada as well, where you can go online, type in your address, and instantaneously, they're going to have this little number next to your home and say, this is how much they're going to pay for your home. If we look at it, this company was hailed as the Amazon of homes, and it went public in 2020. Now, what was the results of that? It says here, Open Door was a home flipping site, and is probably regretting his bulk order for subway tiles and do-it-yourself laminate floors. The company lost, get this, 42% of its resales in August. It lost money. The company that rode the first wave of the real estate iBuying, so that's the all online digital brokerage, a way to automate real estate purchases. You guys, this is kind of a funny thing because remember, we all thought that this was going to be the wave of the future, but this isn't the first time this happened. In 2004, 5, 6, 7, leading up to the GFC, the Great Financial Crisis, all of these online brokerages started popping up saying it's that easy, right? As soon as the market tipped over, guess what happened? They all went bankrupt, and they ended up going back to people they trust, people with skills. At the end of the day, people need people with skills. They don't necessarily need an algorithm that can't tell them what the value of the home is. Remember, algorithms only know the information that they're fed. They don't know that the house maybe had somebody get murdered in it. Didn't mean to go dark so fast, but something bad, or that there was a flood, or that there was black mold. It doesn't know that it is a huge 3-bedroom versus a 5-bedroom. It doesn't know how many square feet. It doesn't know if you recently remodeled something. So my point is, it doesn't know any of the pluses or any of the minuses. It's just very calculate driven, but that's why they have to send somebody in to come look at it, right? Generally speaking, they generally give you somewhere around 11% less than what it's worth to make it an easy transaction for you. So they never were going after the mass market. They were going after the people who are desperate to sell within a day or two. All right, so let's get back into what Open Door is. They make fast offers on homes with an algorithm. They do a light reno and then resell it sometimes a few months later, which is part of the problem with these guys. So these companies, we have to always be careful with them because I hear about them all the time. Well, why aren't you going to buy this house? So I'll go in and I'll say, well, the home is worth $1 million. And they say, well, David, I want you to buy it for $1 million. And I'm like, they're like, the other properties, the other places, the other companies will offer to buy it from us within, 2 weeks, and they'll just pay cash for it. Yes, but they charge 11%. So they're going to charge you $110,000 to do that. But you see, most people don't get that far. All they know is how many days it's going to take, how much money. They don't know how much money it's going to cost yet, just how many days. So that's what they want somebody like myself to do, or another brokerage to do, for example. So they kind of want their cake and eat it too. So remember, this is a key to life. I'm going to give you a little hint. You can add anything you want: fast, cheap, or done well. You can have 2 of those 3 things always, but you can never have all 3. So that's what I try and tell everybody. Just pick what you want. If you want it fast and done right, it's going to cost you. And that's what these type of companies end up doing. But at the end of the day, these companies end up going bankrupt. They always do. So how is this going to proceed? I expect these companies to go bankrupt as well. Same as like these Purple Bricks and all these other companies. They'll probably all go bankrupt just like they did last time, like they're doing again now. History repeats itself kind of thing, right? At least it rhymes. All right. Let's jump into the last part here. And this is where I wanted to talk about. Now, this gets about this doctor who is in palliative care. So, the reason why I wanted to bring this up, I was watching our Queen. The Queen could teach us some things. And one of the most powerful books that I had ever read, and I don't even remember the title anymore off the top of my mind. The book was like Deathbed Confessionals. And I know this sounds dark, but it's supposed to give us inspiration. This is why I'm telling you. At the end of your days, they always say, I wish that I spent more time with my family. They never say, I wish I did one more Excel spreadsheet. I just did one more piece of work. Nobody ever wishes for that. So when I'm thinking of the Queen, it has to make you feel a bit about your life, right? And how you want to live your life. And so the Queen, though, I think I take a lot of lessons to how she lived her life. She also traveled a lot. She got to spend a lot of time with her family, which is great. Also, they give you a lot of clues into wealth building. Of course, we got to take away in the year 1100, they were warring with everyone, killing everyone. Well, let's leave that part out. Okay. I'm just saying their family, though, always had a mind to be building wealth for generations. So much today, we are always trying to think of ourselves like just for me, just next month, not even. If we're very fortunate, you have kids and you now think about their life. But where the successful people are is they look at very long term. They look at creating generational wealth so that their kids, their grandkids, and multi-generations will have enough income for them. So this is where if you learn about the Japanese way of doing things, their short-term plans are like 20 years. Short-term. In Canada, US, it's like 90 days is short-term. So they think of this massive long-term to be able to pass this wealth through generations. I think there's like 1,000 companies in Japan that are over 100 years old, but there's some of them that are like 1,500 years old and 1,000 years old, most of them construction companies. All right, so let me jump into this article, you guys, and I want to know what you think about it. So this is a palliative care doctor, and it says, look this up at healthdigest.com, healthdigest.com. What most people say before they die, and this is what I was thinking of because of the Queen today. Most of us are contemplating life and our own mortality. What really matters is the question that all of us want to know. What really matters, of course. If we allow it, death can be our greatest teacher, and she wants to share this with us so that we can live life with no regrets, okay? This is the questions that she always asks. What brings you joy? What is most important to you? If you can answer those two questions, you're going to be able to figure out a lot of different things, right? How am I going to spend my time? Is it my family that's the most important to me? Is it traveling that's the most important to me? What is it? Because that's going to create your foundation of whatever that you want. If you continue on with what she is showing us in this article, she says, these are the regrets. Not spending more time with loved ones, okay, including loved ones that they lost time with because of a trivial disagreement. Number 2, they spent too much time at work. Absolutely. 3, lack of courage to pursue a true life. Pursue a life true to their innermost self, their passions and their desires, rather than living for other people's expectations. So I think that is very key. And so this is part of what we always try to talk about and what we like to teach, right? I don't want you to spend your entire life talking about money and talking about that. I want you to live your life and live your passions that you're absolutely passionate about. I want you to be able to do that. That's amazing, right? But I had some comments that came on here and they were like, David, not everything is about money. And I had to reflect on that a lot. When you reflect on that, it's actually coming from such a privileged, haughty, cocky place to say something like that. If you have many millions and you're super comfortable, of course you can say, David, take the weekend off and play croquet. Of course, if you have a lot of money, money doesn't matter to you, right? But a huge portion of the world, monumental, the majority, are having difficulty paying their rent, difficulty paying for food, difficulty putting their kids through school, putting clothes on their back, paying for electricity. The majority of the world is struggling and money means everything to them. So here is what I think. If you tell me that money is not the most important thing, you're probably not my target audience. I want you to make money, not so that you can keep making money forever, ever, ever, generational wealth. I want you to live your best life. I want you to enjoy yourself. Guess what? I had cancer, not once, 2 times. I spent my entire childhood thinking I was going to die, watching all my friends die. That's a big deal. Today, I have 2 diseases, not one, 2, that is ruining my organs on me. Okay. And I still keep doing this. My point is, I want you to get to a point where you create generational wealth. I want you to break free of the system that is enslaving you. I don't want you to be held down, and I want you to do the things you like you're going to do. So I want you, remember what they said, you don't want to work too much. You want to spend time with your loved ones and live your truest self. So all these people who kind of throw some shade on me or leave some stupid comments or something like that, do you think if you leave me a bad comment, you're going to make me feel worse than all the diseases that I've had? You're going to make me feel worse than cancer? You're not going to change anything. Okay. So this is what's kind of crazy. I want you to feel the same way. Don't be shy about what other people are going to say. You know what I mean? Like, just do your thing, because no matter who it is, they're going to say something funky about you. I have done lots of showings before, and I'm like, look at this beautiful kitchen. And they're like, that kitchen is stupid. I hope you die. That's a terrible thing. How dare you tell people that? It doesn't matter what you say. You're going to have a billion people that hate whatever that you're saying anything at all. So you might as well just be true to yourself. You know what I mean? And here we're just trying to help people. And this is what I want for you. Okay. So money is not everything, but if you use money and learn about money, you can get your money to be making money, right? And partner with the government so you're not paying a ton in taxes. Partner with them. Do what they're asking you to do. What are they asking you to do right now? They're asking you not to spend as much money. They keep on raising interest rates, right? And when they lower interest rates, they want you to borrow as much as you can. You got to learn how money works and be able to work with the strategies. And you have to be flexible. This is like us when we would go fishing. You know, I got rain gear in the back. I got all kinds of different stuff, right? In case it rains, in case there's wind, in case it gets cold, I got stuff in case. You got to learn how to deal with life in case, financially speaking. So that's what I want for you. Anyway, I'm wondering if you like this type of stuff, because it means a lot to me. Anyway, if you like this type of stuff and if it means something to you, what do you think life is about? Leave a comment for me below. I'd really like to know about it. Remember, I'm always here for you. If this could help even one person that you know, please send it to them. And I'll see you on the next video. Please remember to like and subscribe to this stuff. It really helps me a lot. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you like that video, you might like this one and maybe something like that.